Hello again. Today I'm going I'm going to explain more about the Python primer, the second uh, slide for learning the Python. And this is the course of data structure and algorithms in industrial and management engineering, Hankook University of Foreign Studies. So I'm going to start with the Python primer, but before you start with this slide, I hope that you already opened your Jupyter notebook. Okay. So I have my Jupyter notebook here, and let's start with the lesson. So the thing that we already learned before, so you know already about the basic Python, and yeah, you learn how to print, you learn about the string, you learn about the numbers, you learn about the basic classes, and you learn about the list, tuple, and etc. Now we are going to learn about functions and control flow. What you are going to do with the functions and control flow? Let's see. Program structure, okay, common to all control structure, the colon character is used to delimit the beginning of a block of code that acts as a body for a control structure. So the key point here I want to say is the colon. In Python, it is important to understand about the colon because yeah, when you do with the control structure in Python, everything should be ended with the colon. And if the body can be stated as a single executable statement, it can technically place on the same line to the right of the colon. So when you have the colon, yeah, you can deal with many things. And of course, if you are making the block, okay, you need to understand where's the position of the colon. And after you know the position of the colon, yeah, you can just make as you wish. If the statement is only one line, then you can make on the right of the column. But if it is a block or there are multiple statements, then it's better to make a kind of indentation. We call it the indented block. Okay. So the indented block, it is a kind of body. Okay. However, a body is more typically typeset as indented block. So the indented block, yeah, you will see the indented block starting on the line following the colon. So after the colon, you need to know where is the indented block. And Python relies on the indentation level to designate the extent of the block of code or any nested blocks of code within. So you need to remember that Python is very sensitive with the indentation. If you don't manage the indentation, it will make your code not reliable. Okay, and some of the result may not be correct. So be careful with the indentation and be careful with the colon. The first thing that we want to learn is about the conditional. Okay, the conditional means if. If you already joined the computer programming course, I guess you are not uh, is you are familiar with this kind of terms, okay? But the other comments in this Python is they use elif, okay? If, and then you put the colon. So the colon is in the right part after you put the condition, and then if the condition is right, then you can just put the first body. If the condition is not satisfied, then you need to put the elif. The elif, you put the second condition, again you need to put the colon, and then what is the statement that you want to do if the condition is correct. If it is not correct, then yeah, you want to do with the other condition, the third condition. Again, you will do with the condition, and after the condition, you need to put the colon and put the statements. So you can see here, it is the indentation. It is the indentation, and it is the indentation. At the final stage, you put the else. So else is the final decision. If all the conditions are not correct, then the else will be executed or the fourth body. Okay? So actually, there are three things that you need to understand about the conditionals. So we can have if then. Okay? If then means you have the first condition and then the result, or you can have the if then else like this one, if, else if, and you can have nested if. So if inside another if. Okay. So let's see if we are going to learn this one in the Python. Okay, so I will open my Jupyter Lab. Yeah, so I have one. Yeah, I guess you already did the previous one, so you can get this file on the Google Drive. Now, let's say I have if. Okay, oh, maybe let me start with a very simple one. Okay, if 1 and 2, then print true. Okay, so if you run this one, okay, it's true. Yeah, then it means you will have only if then. If you want to make an else like this one, then if this condition is correct, okay, then you will print true. If it is not correct, then you will print false. You can see here, if I put this like this one, okay, you can see right, the color becomes red. What does it mean? So if the color becomes red, then there will be a problem. Okay, now it's not a problem. Okay, but later on there will be a problem with the indentation. If you don't put the indentation in correct part, then the statement will not be executed. So later there will be some examples where you don't put the indentation correctly, then it will not run. You can see now the color becomes green. So the code is in the correct indentation. Okay? So you need to make sure that this indentation is correctly written in Python or especially in Jupyter Notebook. And also here, okay, let's see if I have if and else like this one, and you want to change the indentation like this one. Okay, so you can see that the first print is in the red, and the second print is in the green. So the first print will not be executed. Actually, yeah, there now is okay. I think it's fine because it's only 2. But if it is green, then everything is correct. Okay. If you want to change this one, let's say I've changed this one, then yeah, of course the result will be different. Okay. Now, if I have two variables, a equals to 5 and b equals to 4. Now, I have another if. If a less than b, then print a smaller than b. If a is greater than b, then print b is smaller than a. But if not, if those conditions are not satisfied, then let's print a equals to b. Okay. So if you run this, that's right. Yeah, the result is b is smaller than a. Now, if I change this one 5 and 5, then the result will be A equals to B. Okay. So using this thing, I guess you now familiar with the if, and else. The next part that you need to learn about the control structure is about the loops. There are several loops. If you learn in the computer programming, if you learn Java, you will learn about while and you will learn about for. And yeah, many people said that it's better to use while, but I guess for is not also bad for making the loop. Okay, so today we are going to learn about while and for loop. And in this example, I also give you one index for loop. Okay, the index means, yeah, if you want to run the loop in the sequence way, so you need to run from the first until the length of the elements. Okay, for example, if you have list, then you want to run from the first element until the length of the list. Then you will do something. For example, if the data is bigger than the index in some location, then yeah, you want to change the index. So yeah, anyway, let's deal with the Python. Now let's say I have the example C is a list. Okay, so it is a list. Okay, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 elements. The element index 0 is equal to 1. The element index 2 equals to 3, and so on. So I would like to loop this one. Okay. I want to know from sorry, I want to know from C. What is C? C is the list. Okay. So C is the list of number, which is 1, 3, 6, 9, 8, and 7. And I would like to put the I. I means the variable that you are going to iterate. So the I will start from the first and go to the second and go to the third and go to the fourth until the last elements. And every time I go to the element of C, yeah, I can do something or I can do this statement. Let's say this statement is to print. Then yeah, you can just if for I in C, don't forget to put colon, and then you will print the I. So here's the result. You will print 1, 3, 6, 9, 8, 7. Yeah. Now, you can have the alternative not using the for loop, but you can use also the while loop. But before you do with the while loop, you need to understand how can you know the number of elements in the list. So this is the statement. It is the statement to know the length of a list. So you can also use the length of the tuple with the len. Okay. Let's see. I know that C is a list, so I just want to know how many elements in C. Yeah, there are 6. So if you already familiar with the computer programming, then you can know the indexing. Okay, I will start the index from 0. I will start I equals to 0, and after the while I can make a condition. If I is less than length z, so what is length z? Yeah, length z equals to 6. So if I less than 6, then it means 0 is less than 6. If it is true, then let's do this statement. What is this statement? This statement is first is to print the c with square bracket I. What is the square? The square bracket? Yeah, the square bracket indicates the index. So I start from 0. Then if I equals to 0, it will print the C index 0. Okay? And after I print the C index 0, then the I will be added by 1. So I will become 1. Okay? After you finish this one, then it will return back. Now 1 is less than 6. Yes, it is true. Then now I would like to print the C index 1. Okay? And then I will be added by 1. So now I becomes 2. Next, after you finish this one, now it will check again. 2 less than 6, yes. 2 less than 6, yes. Because 2 is less than 6, then we will print the C index 2. And then I will become 3 after adding by 1. And now 3 is less than 6, yes. So you will do with this one. And then this one will be added by 1 again until it reaches the number 5. Okay, 5 after you have 5, and then you will have I equals to 6. Okay, and 6 less than 6, no, then stops. Okay, so if you run this, yeah, I will delete this part. I guess it is not necessary. It will make confused. So yeah, then the result will be the same with what you already learned in the for loop. Okay, I will delete this one. If you want to put more description, you can just put your description later. Now, yeah, that's about the condition. Okay, so the index for loop, I guess, yeah, we will learn more about this indexing. Okay, now we have if. Okay, we can combine the control loops like for with if and other stuff. Okay, and you can learn about the statement break and continue. So Python supports a break statement that immediately terminates a while or for loop when executed within its body. Now, you can see from this code, okay, you don't need to work with your Python, but let's see. If you are making this code, and what do you expect to get? Yeah, you will run, you will have this data, and then the data is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you will have the number in data. So the number will be the a number that you can get from this list. And if the number is 3, break. So it means stop. Okay? So the word terminate means stop. But if continue, what is the meaning by continue? If you have the same data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, Python also supports a continue statement that causes the current iteration of the loop body to stop, but okay, but with subsequent passes of the loop proceeding as expected. It means after I run 1, 2, and 3, okay, so this is the for loop, okay. The for loop from is a number, and then it will run of it will run for each element of in the data, and after you run for 1, you will check if 1 equals to 3, no, and then it goes to the next 2 equals to 3, no, and then check 3 equals to 3, yes. So because it is yes, then you just continue. So the result will be 1, 2, 4, 5. But what about this one? The result will be 1, 2, yes, stop. Okay, so let's see. When you have this now, we have 1, 3, 6, 8, 9, 2, 4. Okay. Maybe I will just use the example, but yeah, you can use this one. Okay, let me have this data. Okay, so the data is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And after you have this data, you want to have the for, okay, the number in data, and then don't forget to make a colon. Okay, automatically it is indented. So if you want to print the number, okay, print number, and then if number equal 3, then okay, if number equal 3, then continue. Okay. Oops, what happened? What happened this one? Yeah, actually, yeah, you don't need to worry about this one. It's only the matter of places. Okay, this placement is not correct, so you need to place this one. Yeah. So you can see the number now will be printed on 2, 4, and 5. So if it is 3, it will continue to the next number. Okay, so this number will be printed after the condition. So you can see the indentation is in the same line, but continue is in the different line. What about if I change this to brick? Okay, if I change it to brick, then okay, you can get only 1 and 2. Okay, same with this example. Now I have the number 1, 3, 6, 8, 9, 2, 4. Okay, now if I have this for I in C, and then if I is less than 3, and then print I. So if I is less than 3, let's just print. If not less than 3, then continue. What will be the result? So it will check for all the numbers. Yeah, if it is 1, it will check 1 is less than 3. Yes, then print 1, and then it will continue. 3, is it less than 3? No, continue. So it will connect to the next element, which is 6. 6 less than 3? No, continue. 8 less than 3? No, continue. 9 is less than 3? No, continue. 2 is less than 3? Yes. Print I. Print 2. And then 4 less than 3? No. Finish. Okay. But what about if I change this into brick? Okay. So when you have this one into brick, then it will print only the first element, because after 1, 3, what about 3? 3 is less than 3, no, then break. So it means it stop. It will not continue to the next elements. Okay. Yeah, I hope that you understand. The break and continue is also one of the important concepts in computer programming. Next is about functions. Yeah. In the functions, you will, it's the same with method. If you learn Java before, you know methods. Now in Python, you say it about functions. Functions are defined using the keyword def. So def means define, def. I want to make a function of display. So when you have a function display, you can have the statements inside the functions, and you need to call the function. Okay? A function can be defined without and with parameters. So this function is without parameter, and this function is with one parameter. So the number of parameters can be more than one. Okay? Let's see. If I have a number here, okay. Oh, this is example with the two parameter. Now, if I have the def, let's say this the ISP, okay, and then let's say I just want to print half, okay. Okay, I have this one, and then I have to create this. Oh, sorry, I need to put. Yeah, what is the? Okay, can you understand what is the error here? Okay, yeah, I missed the quotes. Okay, when you want to print a string, you need to put the quotes. So if you run again the def, then you will get this result. Okay, now you can see here when I call the function, it will run the statements in the function. Okay, there is nothing inside. There is no argument or there is no parameter. So yeah, you don't need to put anything inside the bracket. But if you want to put something like this one, name, okay, so I want to print the name like this one. So I have one parameter which is name, and I want to print the name. So in this function, when you call the function, you need to put something, or yeah, you want to put the, like say 5, okay, then you will print. Oh, okay, it is not correct. Okay, so after you run this one, yeah, you can get this one. So the number 5 inside the bracket, it will go to the parameter we call name, and we want to print the name. What is name? Name equals to 5. Okay. If you change this into string, it's also it works like this one. Though in Python, it's easier than Java because you don't need to explain the data type. If the data type is string, then it automatically Python will automatically read as a string. If it is an integer, then Python will automatically read as integer. And yeah, this is one parameter, and you have the function without the parameter. And let's say if we have two parameters like this one. Okay, so if I have the function with two parameters, display, name, school, okay, the name and school, it should be in a sequence. Okay, I don't want to discuss the more complex parameters. Actually, you can also make the initial value of the parameter. You can change the initial value and etc. And you can make the parameter in the reverse way. But I don't want to make it complicated. Let's learn the very basic one. So this display is having two parameters, name and school. And let's print the name and let's print the school. So I will call the function display Panado Health and display Park Korea and display the Seoul. So it means there are three calling methods, and I would like to say that these methods are based on this definition. So if you run this, you can get the Panado Health because you want to print the name and school, you want to print the Park and Korea, and you want to print the Lee and Seoul. Okay. Now you have the functions before with parameters and without parameter. Now, if you want to combine with the list, yeah, So you are going to have a new identifier as the functions. Let's say I would like to count. Okay. So I would like to count, and it establishes the new parameters that it expects, which define the function signature. So we have the first, like this one. You want to make the count and you want to add the numbers, and there is nothing that you will do after you print this one, but in this part there is a different which is written. Okay, now let's see if I call this one. Okay, if I copy this one into here. Oh, okay, I have this one, but let me skip. I will make this one first. Okay, so yeah, you will see here the result is 1. Why? Hmm. Okay, yeah, I need to delete the red color one. Okay, so the result is 1. What does it mean? Now you can check. This is the definition of this is the function count1, and the count1 has two parameters, which is data and target. Okay, so in this function, you will start with the n equals to 0, and we will have a loop number in data. Okay, let's see what is the data. So if the data is a list, then okay, you will loop on this list. Oh, okay, let's see. You are going to call the method count1, and then you put the data list 1, and you have 3 as the target. So I would like to loop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If the number equals to target, then let's plus n with 1. Now, what about the number? So if the number now equals to 1, okay, 1 equals to 3? No, because it is not equal to 3, then we will go to the next number. The next number will be 2. 2 equals to 3? No, then you don't need to add with n. And then after finish, you will do again with 3. 3 equals to 3? Yes. So n will be added by 1. Okay, so with this one, then n equals to 1, because we are going to n plus 1, and it becomes the new one, which is n equals to 1. And after you finish this one, you will go to the next, which is 4. 4 equals to 3? No. And then go to the next 5. 5 equals to 3? No. Then finish. Okay, after you finish, you will bring n. What is n? Yeah, last one, n equals to 1. So the result equals to 1. Okay. So if you want to know more about this one, what is this one? So I would like to put this one and it's done. Oh, the same. Then what is the difference between the first and the second one? Okay, the difference is it is located in the print and written. Okay, let's see. If I want to put the result into a variable, so after I have this function and I want to make it in the variable, let's say like this one. Cnt1 equals to count1 list 1 comma 3. Okay, yeah, you can have the result as 1. But what about the cnt1? Nothing. Do you know why? Because this is only a function to print, but it will not assign the value. Okay, now I have a new variable which is cnt2. Now I will use the count2 list 1 equal 3. Okay, you can see no result here, but if I want to check the cnt2, then the result will be 1. So the cnt1 have a value 1 because we run this count2 function and it returns. So the return means I want to assign the result into a variable. Okay, so that's the meaning of this return. So the return statement returns the value for this function and terminates its processing. And as you might know, the parameter passing, okay, if you have the one parameter, it means you have one argument here. If you have two parameters, then you have two arguments here. Okay. About the output, okay, the outputs, it means you want to print. Okay? You already know the print. If you want to print more than one, then you just put with comma, or if you want to go to the next line, you can put the /n. Okay. So yeah, it is about the print, and usually you can also change the format of the text. For example, if you want to change the numbers into string, so you can just put str in order to put it as string. Instead of the instead of the output, you need to also understand about the input. Okay, what is input? So it is the primary means to acquire information from the user. So if you ask the users to give some input, then you can just use the input. And remember that this function display a prompt, so you need to give the input. And it, if given as an optional parameter, and then waits until the user enters some sequence of characters followed by the return key. And the return value of the function is the string of characters that were entered strictly before the return key. Such as string can be immediately converted, of course. So if you run this, let's say, do this one. Oh, I have this one. What is this? Okay, you can figure out this one. What is that? What is the meaning by this one? Yeah. I will go to next. Okay, this is print output. Okay, so you have the maroon and 5, then you will then yeah, you will get the output maroon and 5. Now, if I have this input, okay, I have this input. Name equals to input. What is your name? So if I run this, then yeah, there is a prompt. What we call it prompt is, yeah, you need to input something. If I want to input my name Bernardo, and then you press enter, then yeah, this value will be inserted into the variable name. Once you print the name, then it will show Bernardo. Let's say you want to input a year, and you know that year is a number. So before you do the input, you need to put the data type. If you know that the data type is integer, then you can just make integer. If you know that the data type is a real number or the float, then you can put float. Okay? So it depends on the data type that you want to use. Let's say I'm going to use the integer, then what is the year? It's 2000. Okay, maybe it's just I was born in 2020. Okay, so then I was born in 2020. Then I want like to know what is the year. Then the year is 2020. Okay, yeah. Uh, okay, I guess I will stop here first, and I will continue after the break. Okay, so please go to the next video, and yeah, don't miss the next chapter.